Greetings, listeners. Your host for the night, Zach, here, introducing you to the return of The Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gear Studios. Thank you all for your patience over the past several months. Between lockdowns, work, and personal lives, and everything else, we're finally back to new episodes. As always, we'd like to thank our donators over on Ko-fi for sticking with us during the break and beyond, such as Alec, KJ, Noops, D-Devil1193, TJ, and Taylor. And if you want to help support the shows, offer up sanity to investigators, and more, please check out our Ko-fi page for more. With The Call back, we're doing a soft reboot of sorts, with Spacers back next week and new goals over on Ko-fi. We're hoping to add video to the shows, so if we can get the last few pieces we need, we'll do just that. And don't forget about the store on our main website for shirts, mugs, and more. You may have noticed that we posted 2 episodes today. We have a new episode, as well as a recap of things that even the players needed a bit of a refresher on, since it has kind of been a while. So, catch up with us. Oh, now he feels the pressure.
No, I was feeling a bit anxious all day, actually, because it's been almost a year since we played, so I'm sort of like rusty, and I've been working a lot, and I'm tired.
So we're gonna spend an hour just fucking around.
Is that what's on me?
Stuck on
What's on me? Is that a
The
slug?
elder gods have come. The elder gods have come for you.
I mean, it was inevitable.
We can just keep the conversation going as we were, yeah. So, like I told everyone else, there's a paragraph that I have here
Oh, you son of a bitch.
that lays out everything, but I'm not going to show it to the camera because there's a thing such as pause.
I was waiting.
Freeze frame. There's a sound.
Yeah, enhance it like NCIS.
Okay, so
Zoom in. Enhance.
because it's been so long, I feel that it's probably good to go over some stuff that's happened,
That checks out.
so everyone sort of knows the timeline of everything. And I have my Bible here, so we can pretty much go through a lot of stuff. But I might hit on some major points. I don't want to go through each chapter because it'll take forever.
Yeah.
But I can pretty much give the rundown of the order that stuff happened. So if that'll...
Let's do it.
Okay. And I'm going to leave the dates out of it because I know exactly when stuff happened. Nobody's actually really checked. You guys haven't known each other for an extremely long period of time, but it is a period of time. Right?
That's fair.
Right? Time
Time is a river.
is a
And
river.
sometimes it's a lake. Wow. That's so deep.
Jesus Christ.
I see what you
So
did
deep.
there.
Oh.
Oh, this is the fun side of the table.
Take me out.
Sanity check!
I accept.
Okay.
No.
D20.
I passed. It's a 31.
I got 5.
Hey, fuck you.
You guys get rid of all those good rolls at the start. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through timelines, and then I'm going to touch on a couple of things just to be clear. Way back. Way back. A lot longer time than your characters have known each other. Years ago, actually. We've been playing this for years.
Yep.
But, I mean, COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has stopped us from playing for a long period of time.
Yep.
So we started off, and I'm just going to quickly going through it. You guys were all heading to Swellsgullet on the behest of the New England Center of Antiquities. I mean, I don't really need to explain what everyone's characters are, but of course Marion was an agent or taking care under the employ of the New England Center of Antiquities. Althea was a part-time coroner, full-time dilettante?
Eris.
Heiress?
Eris is the
I know how
title
to
you're going with?
Oh,
I know how to
geez.
fly a plane, and what was the other thing?
I know how to fly a plane.
You know, but there was I know how to fly. I'm trying to remember what she said that one time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need charm. I have money. I don't need to be something like that. I'm rich. I don't need charm or something.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, whatever it was. But you all were heading to Swellsgullet, of course. You know, Amos being the private detective, and Agatha being an alienist and an assassin.
That kind of just came out. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I can't
so-
go anywhere without my rifle. Kathleen.
That wasn't the plan, but it
yeah,
did
let's call
happen.
Kathleen.
Yeah, it's called Kathleen.
I forgot about
Point number 1, I needed to remind everyone. The Lee Enfield is Kathleen.
Oh my god, when the hell did you name the Lee Enfield?
I probably have the exact episode in here, but we'll get to it.
I think it was more
entertaining to just keep calling it the Lee Enfield.
Well, it's like the Packard Twin
The Packard
Six.
Twin
Exactly.
Six. It's the
Swill's
same
Gullet.
thing. Yeah.
There's certain certain
What
names
else are
I
you
just
gonna
like
call
to say.
Swill's Gullet? The town?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not going to go into everything that happened, but you all travel into Swill's Gullet, and you meet up with an interesting character by the name of Skeet Wilsonbottom. And, I mean,
That's just history.
yeah, everyone who's generally going to watch this has probably listened to the past episodes, and if you haven't, listen to the past episodes. That'll sort of explain everything.
Or not, as the case may be.
And you were investigating the Montgomery farmstead. You found a big boulder. Don't even know why I need notes for this. Found a big boulder, tried to walk toward it. Horrible headaches ensued. Managed to get back to town. Skeet had disappeared. Slept upstairs in Skeet's general store, and then you killed a raven, defenseless raven.
Oh, fuck
out of
off.
a window, Agatha,
Defenseless Raven.
with
Fuck off.
Kathleen. Yeah, and then some creepy stuff happened. Etc. Etc. Etc.
Don't you be guilting. guilting us
Headed
on
to the
that.
Corbett farmstead, followed the tracks because also the Packard Twin Six was gone. Surprised you haven't named it yet.
It does have a name.
The Packard Twin Six.
Yeah.
Christ.
Ding.
I gotta get you a soundboard, just like a panel next to you where you're like, ha ha ha, ha. Wilhelm scream.
Fart noise.
I'm not programming you a fart noise.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say. So, yeah.
Disgruntled stare.
Disgruntled stare.
Or constipation.
Went to the Corbett farmstead, found the car, searched around, assaulted by some creatures, guttural screaming, humans dripping black liquid. Right? All escaped into the house. Found the, ripped in half body of Barnabas Jones, the person you were sent to find. Another. Okay, Althea, what you laughing about?
No, I thought you said that we were insulted by some creatures, and then I started going through my own head what those insults might have been.
You fucking 2 legs. You got 10 fingers too, I bet. Oh, you do? You poor bastards.
What do you
Anyway,
have?
sorry.
One mouth?
Yeah.
I bet you wish you had 8 limbs. You fucks.
Anyways.
I actually have to interject. I did not have the Lee Enfield. I had this shotgun with the paper bag of possibly awful cartridges.
The questionable
It's
cartridges.
questionable.
Okay, yeah, no,
That's
fair
what
enough,
it
fair
was.
enough.
Steve's questionable
Fair
shot.
enough.
Yes.
Yeah, Skeet Shotgun, the special issue, yeah. Skeet Shotgun. Yeah. Wonder what happened to that thing. Lucky. Anyway, I mean, this is very... It's basically because the first arc is pretty self-contained. You went into the house, you escaped down through the basement, went down into the catacombs being chased by some creatures, faced some of our actual players' fears of different things.
That was the worst.
Got out the other side, went down to Lake Drumwick, found a pile of people crucified on posts. Saw some noise. Ooh. Heard some noise off in the woods and found Skeet tied up. Rescued him, ran back. Realized that you gotta do something about that boulder. Ooh, boulder.
That's a
Everyone remembers this,
boulder.
right? And do something about the boulder. Amos went up to it with the St. Carstone. Tried dynamite first. I am skipping over the pincushion man. That's what I call him.
You call him
Pincushion.
okay.
Because like Pinhead from Hellraiser,
Yeah,
I just call him Pincushion.
Hang on a sec. You're gonna just glaze. So that's the pincushion man, not Amos, who almost became a pincushion man and immediately followed by Soup.
Well, no, because you never became the pincushion man.
I almost became the pincushion man, and then
you
became
didn't.
Soup.
But
You can be
didn't become
almost
the
Pincushion,
Yeah.
but he is Pincushion.
Yeah.
Fair.
You're Pincushion Junior, he's Pincushion Senior.
I accept that.
He
Right?
has actually achieved
Or-
the rank of pincushion.
In Newfoundland, where I'm from, that would make that guy big Pincushion and you're little Pincushion. That's how that works.
That's fair.
Right?
I accept.
Big Eric, little Eric. You know?
Yep. Not wrong.
Ah.
We don't make up the rules. We just live here.
I'm also glossing over the fact that Agatha's mind was completely shattered by looking at a mythos monstrosity rising out of Lake Drumwick.
I'm sure that'll never come back and bite us in the ass.
She will always be known as the one that looks at everything.
Yep.
Someone's got
What's your spot hidden?
my spot.
Yeah, what
here?
is your spot hidden on your sheet?
66?
Oh, fuck off.
66. Right? So when she looks, she usually sees. That's
I'm one to talk. Mine's 63.
Mine's 68.
Oh,
Mine's 65.
I don't know
so
how
mean-
because Althea never looks where she's going.
I know.
Yeah, but she
No,
also
she
has
just-
the rat.
The rat.
No.
It's not a rat.
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
Not a
Montgomery.
rat, though.
Montgomery.
Not a rat, though.
Montgomery.
We've learned this.
He's also not mine anymore. Because I made him mad.
I can also.
What do you mean he's not yours? You flicked him away and shattered him into. You have no idea what you did to that poor
Christ.
Montgomery.
I just know that he's not mine anymore.
How do you know
But
he's
are you
not
his?
When did that happen? When was he?
Need to go to.
He couldn't go back on your shoulder.
I have a rat and a
You have a raven.
raven.
Yeah.
I have to go back and get that raven, but I have a
You
rat
do.
and a raven.
Have to go
Regal.
back. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Don't
Regal
Oh, the
raven.
raven will find you.
Raven and rat noises.
Yep. I'm gonna be like a walking menagerie.
I think everybody's seen
Menagerie.
him but Marion.
I have not.
Yes,
He's not real.
that
I
is.
don't know what you guys are talking
A
about.
fucking Marion, Jesus.
That is true. You think it's a shared psychosis.
It is. It's quite unfortunate.
And Montgomery has also made the point in one of the episodes of saying that you were the only sane one.
Sweet.
This is true. This
Right.
is true.
And that's how that works. Upon taking care of the boulder, that was pretty much the end of that first arc. Then we headed into the urban arc, which took an extremely long period of time because of multiple shutdowns. And also the fact of the PCs are like cats.
Yes. Meow.
It's just I have Apollo threads everywhere, and they need to play with them all.
Yes.
Which is fine. I have no issue with it, but, at the cost of sanity and such.
Listen, you don't want
Our
us
own
to,
and yours.
if you don't want us to play with the yarn, don't leave it on the floor.
Meow.
Are you done?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Oh, Christ.
It's been a long time, and I'm angry.
And you're hangry.
No, I just ate. I'm fine.
You're going to have fun editing this, Zach.
Oh, I'm not touching a goddamn thing. This is all going in.
It's just me going over some stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to quickly go through, I think, some points that everyone sort of knows, but there's a couple of things where I believe there are, of course, listening to all the episodes and then comparing it to my original notes and then making notes per case number is what I've done. So I have all the relevant information because it mightn't match my original notes because my original notes are before the game and then we played the game and then things might have changed depending on what the players did.
Fair.
Yeah, almost guaranteed it.
Yeah, almost guaranteed that you guys fucked everything up.
Fuck, yeah.
Right? That's just the nature of it.
That checks out.
So I sort of made a cross-reference thing. Okay, so there will be some things of silence, so people can feel free to jump in and talk about certain things, and I will jump in with what I need to. I sort of have my list of little things that... okay, so...
Well, that was quick.
I mean, people can jump in at any point. I've kept track of how many bouts of madness everyone has had. Some people have had a lot more bouts of madness than other people. I'm looking at you, Agatha.
Yeah. Was there a debate?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
5?
I was going to say,
Maybe
you've had like
6.
5. She's had 0.
You
No.
put my eye
No,
on.
I've had at least one.
Marion has had 1.
Oh.
She has had 1. That's when you guys were in the haunted house and you were in the basement.
Ah,
she was
yes.
dragged down
Yeah.
and she fainted
Yep.
into the water.
Yep.
That
Almost
was
drowned.
We had to
Almost
go get
drowned.
your ass. That's
Y'all
right.
are wondering why I carry a Leanne Field mark.
But to be fair, in the haunted house, everyone had at least 1 bout of madness during the haunted house.
Oh my god, that's right too. That place was nuts.
because
I
I was
still
great.
Yeah,
really
she did.
know.
You
Yeah,
also
I came
fainted.
after You went.
You also fainted, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, when you have a bout of madness, there's a dice roll. Basically, it's when you lose more than 5 sanity or more in a single area is sort of how I do it, or single adventure, that type of thing. So the haunted house is its own scenario. That's it. Scenario is its own scenario. So every amount of sanity you lost, once it adds up to 5 or more, there would be a bout of madness. And in any given scenario, if you lose 20 or more, you get a permanent... psychosis is the wrong word, but you get to roll on the insanity chart to see what you pick up. It could be a phobia, it could be a mania, it could be virtually anything, right? But that's how, for anyone who's unaware, that's how basically I do sanity. I play fast and loose with the rules.
It's fair.
That's just how I do things. Although there will be a couple of things that are changing as we move forward. Not overly difficult, but some things that I've realized that maybe I was doing wrong, but it worked really well for the situations.
Cool.
So it was fun. I'm not like retconning anything. It's just moving forward. There's a couple of things.
He says as you retcon stuff. What?
What? So Amos, you're dead.
Again. All right. What else is new?
That's okay. You're back.
Yay! You got
And
better.
now I'm a vampire.
Are you the?
It's something.
Actually, now, under all of your character sheets, there should be prized objects, treasured possessions. And actually, would it be okay if, because I sort of have something built for, not built, but pushed for, not even pushed, but for everyone's characters. Stuff that's sort of independent to them. What kind of treasured possessions do you have, Althea? I'm going to call you by your character name because I need to get back used to it.
Okay. Althea has her father's pocket watch, which she has on her at all times. She has an untitled book of poetry that belonged to her mother that her mother read a lot when she was ill before she died. And she has her yellow book.
Yes, the yellow book has become part of your treasured possessions.
Mm-hmm.
That can only end well.
Okay, so I'm just going to touch on that for a quick second. The thing to remember about the father's pocket watch is during the events of Swill's Gullet, I could tell you the specifics, but it was in case number 0103, if anyone wants to listen to it
Wow.
and look at it. But basically, after you were coming back from the Montgomery farmstead, the watches started acting weird. And your father's watch, if you remember, had stopped at 3:30. And it's been stopped at 3:30 ever since.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that. The Yellow Book, and this is something very interesting that I like that they do with the Call of Cthulhu sort of rules, is when something affects your character, I, as the keeper, can take your character sheet or just tell you that now you have another treasured possession. And so for Althea, that would be the Yellow Book, which she took from the New England Center of Antiquities when you went back after it had been attacked. Right? It just sort of, it's a book she really likes. There's nothing creepy about it at all.
We're all gonna die.
Right? And now not everyone has treasured objects that it comes up, but it's just because anyway, Marion, what do you have under your sheet?
For treasured possessions?
Yeah.
I have a letter from my father
Yes.
from when he was fighting in the Great War in France.
Yep.
I have my grandmother's jewelry, which is very plain and simple, but it's the only jewelry I own, and therefore the only jewelry I wear. And then I have my leather satchel.
And that's the big one for Marion.
Yeah.
The satchel has came up multiple times in the game. It's where all the notes, and there's a lot of stuff. Now, the funny thing about your satchel, which maybe a lot of people aren't aware, there are 3 grenades in that satchel.
I had forgotten about that.
When you
Wait a second. The secretary has 3 fucking grenades this whole
Okay.
time?
So that stems from the second, the return to the Church of Contemplation.
Yeah, 'cause
Where
we were
you
going
found
to-
a crate with 4 live grenades. Althea had taken one of the grenades, and as there were, I call them thugs, were coming up the walkway, threw a grenade out to scare them. Grenades are actually used to scare people. They're used to end people.
Listen, I was with Marion. I just had to say that I needed to scare them.
Yes.
She would've got
Anyway,
mad at me
so
and
there
not
was
given me a
4,
grenade.
but
Well, yeah.
now I mean, I'm also not ridiculous. Where it has been a few days since then that maybe you had taken them out, but since it was not brought up, I am just assuming they're in there, sort of like just lost because it's a nice satchel and it's like a bag of holding.
Yeah.
It's a nice satchel. Then
Usually
Wait,
keep weaponry in my satchel.
hang on a fucking second. How big is a grenade? It's not like a pencil where it's like, I just got caught in the nook of the bag in the bottom.
Mary Poppins
Right?
satchel.
it's big enough.
Christ.
It's big enough. It's
Was
just
that a
it's
bag
just
of holding or whatever it is?
yeah.
God.
But I mean, so clearly, maybe those grenades we could say are in the trunk of the Packard Twin Six.
That would make more sense at this
all right.
point.
That's
right,
fair.
right.
Yeah.
Next
Just
to all the
just
other
so
weaponry.
everyone's aware, I know this is taken away from sort of like playing, but this is stuff we gotta do.
Yeah.
That's more
Oh,
for
no,
the camera.
It's been
That's
a
more for
hot
the camera.
minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the mic?
Yes, I'm doing my finger pointing. My God, you're going to pay for all this. This is also a wonderful dice bag made by Lindsay.
Well done, boss.
And I'm going to move it inside because Althea is being a real bitch.
Oh, shit!
I said
Althea,
Althea.
you're going to kill us all.
I said Althea.
We're all going to die.
I said Althea. Anyway, no, like that'll work. Like that'll work.
Good try.
Amos.
No.
Is there anything particular in your character sheet you would like to bring out?
Yes. I mean, I can't remember if you ever changed anything, if I had a bout of madness big enough for you to change something,
I
because
haven't,
this
I don't
seems
think so.
weird. Anyway, so just treasured possessions or things of interest?
Yeah, I might. Let's go back to Agatha for a second, and then I'll come around because
mean
not
Althea?
Althea.
I got you, boo.
Yeah, we'll get to you.
I know.
Like, there's your list.
Oh, fuck.
There's Amos's. it's a joke.
insane little boy.
Sometimes they're little notes that are it's just relevant to your character, not that it's something forgotten.
You're fucked.
Oh yeah, there's Althea's.
Oh, no.
Why am I with you people?
So
Because I have a big house with a lot of alcohol in it.
That's fair.
This is
That's
water.
right.
yeah, just go down to the basement to find some more. Yeah. So Althea, is there anything else on your character sheet that you feel would be relevant to bring up? And everyone can just sort of look at their character sheets to give it a bit of view.
She actually has a phobia.
Oh.
Not a phobia like, arachnophobia or something, but a phobia of having a dull life and fading into obscurity, like many women who have come before her.
That's not going to come back to bite you in the ass.
And she's also a philanthropist
Oh, yeah.
for a society she started called Society for Widows in the Workplace.
Are you a widow?
No, but I support women who've lost their husbands by giving them jobs so that they no longer need men to support them.
Interesting.
This time era that actually kind of makes sense.
It does.
And this is from the person who also refused to learn the names of her staff. This is
I did not. They're named after chocolate.
they're named after chocolate.
Cadbury.
Cadbury,
Hershey.
honestly, is a classic name.
Where's my whiskey?
Really is.
Come on. How dare you? And how dare you besmirch the name
That
of the
means-
chauffeur Butterfinger?
I was going to say, that means you have a Laura
little
Secord.
Wait, hang on a second.
You know
Does that
what's
mean
funny?
there's a Mr. Big somewhere in there?
You know what's funny about
In a
Laura
picture.
Secord?
Yeah.
When I was living in Newfoundland and living in residence, everyone was saying Laura Secord. Now, the place where you bought the chocolate was down on Water Street. There was
For a while, yeah.
Yes, for a while.
Yeah.
That means it was down there. And I always thought, because of different accents in Newfoundland, that everyone was saying Lower Seacourt. And I do not want to tell you for how long, and it was a long time, that I thought it was Lower Seacourt chocolates. I had no idea who Laura Secord was. And even later on in life, when I saw that Laura Secord made chocolates, I didn't connect it. I thought that Lower Secord was a chocolate place in Newfoundland.
Oh my God, you're so adorable.
That's what I thought for years. Why would I even? I just always thought
mean,
Lower
that's
Secord
fair.
chocolates. Okay, why is everyone getting Lower Secord chocolates?
That's a decent enough name for a chocolate company. And I want someone to go to Newfoundland just specifically to open a chocolate company and call it Lower Secord. Just
For those
the- for the
listening,
Get
giggles
on
of
it.
for those listening, we just gave you a free $1 million idea. You're welcome.
I think it's funny.
It is funny.
That's a personal story.
It's something.
We can make
Please
Screech
laugh at me.
chocolates.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
So yeah, those are two things that hasn't really came up in the game. Although it has been brought up in your game about a society of women that you've contacted at one point about
Yeah.
different information, influential women in the city who I'm assuming helps with these
Yeah. Well-
charities and organizations to
Yeah.
help people, especially after the Great War.
It's still, especially after the Great War, yeah, because a lot of women lost their husbands in the Great War. And it's still connected to my father because he felt that women were going to be the path of the future and make changes in the world. And so it helps carry on her father's legacy by giving women an opportunity to do that.
You see, I'm trying to think of funny stuff to say, and I mean, it doesn't work when you have to think about it.
Yeah, I know. It's easier when I say, I'm rich. I don't need to be charming.
Yeah, but no, it's fair enough. Basically, Althea is a force for good in the community, and which is why it's represented in her credit rating, which is a skill in the game that helps note how famous and influential you are. Or that's how I use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your father, of course, being Gordon Goodyear.
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And your grandfather being Aloysius Goodyear, whom you have never met.
No.
That was also brought up. And there is no family portrait of Aloysius Goodyear in the house. None of you know what Aloysius Goodyear looks like.
Ah, shit.
That's right.
Nobody knows.
That's oddly sus.
Now that I'm looking at my sheet, I notice under assets, I have estate, Packard Twin 6, garden with pet birds.
You have an aviary.
Oh, I know, but I was just like, how did I
Wait,
think
you
of
have
fr-
an aviary?
That was mentioned.
And
That's what
I
it's
left
called.
Regal at the fucking Church of Goddamn Plation?
Well, that was I don't know.
But you
I
didn't
also-
really leave him there. He flew with his friends into a thug and into the Church of Contemplation,
yeah.
and you all scurried off.
Real does what
Yeah.
he wants.
Scurry.
I was
We
just
could have
looking
just
at
kept him
going
his
like,
buds in the aviary anyway.
but how did
Regal's
I
fine.
feel that a garden with pet birds was separate from having an estate?
Well, also, I noticed that you didn't talk about the hedge maze.
No, because
What
we don't
hedge maze?
talk about the hedge maze. That's
What
why
hedge
it's not
maze?
written on the
Ah,
sheet.
Christ.
Well, the other thing is, upon your initial drive into the estates, a couple of things. There was there's hedge animals. You know what I mean? There was an elephant.
Topiary, isn't it?
Yeah, topiary. There was an elephant.
Yeah.
There was also one of a Packard Twin 6. There was.
I just really liked my car, okay?
You really like your
Well, I talk about, whenever time it
You got like
gets
4
what's-
versions of it too.
It's
One of
true.
them
I know.
armor plated.
One of them is armor.
I mean, it is
plated.
now.
It is down.
Yeah. And while actually, because it's sort of as we're talking about stuff popping in our head, and once we're talking about the estate itself, now, regardless, it's not the word to use, but since, sorry, some things to remember about the Goodyear estate is, okay, nobody talks about the hedge maze except in one episode where apparently we did. When you were originally driving in, it was like, yeah, there's the hedge maze. Woo! But I mean, that's just how it works.
Yep.
Also, when it comes to the hedge maze, Aloysius Goodyear, your grandfather, had it written into his will that the hedge maze would always be maintained into perpetuity. Right? And as a child, apparently, you got lost in the hedge maze, was scared, became very scared, and when you came out and there was a phobia, so that's a deeper reason why nobody talks about the hedge maze, right? That, apparently.
Is it a hedge maze?
Yeah. Also, something that was brought up by Skeet when he was searching for, because he took down a pile of not used sheds and buildings on the grounds for, good old Skeet. He also did mention that there was a fairly large barn, is what he called it, with a massive well in it, with rungs of a ladder going down into the well. And he called it the well house. That was something that, now I'm not sure which one, how many of you were there when it happened. It was probably around the time when he was showing you his, it was probably around the time when he was showing you his house.
Yeah, the well house is in his wheelhouse.
Oh.
That's it. I'm out. I quit. I'm leaving.
I forgot about that. Cool. Okay.
Oh my.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here. I just want to double check to make sure I don't have... Yeah, but that was something that was brought up. Anyone who's listened can basically vaguely maybe recall that. It's in my notes, but I'm not going to spend 10 minutes looking through it to find it. But that is something. It was a well house, is basically what it was. And, I mean, you've never been there that you could think of. You might have been. But, I mean, as a group, I'm not saying you should go there. I just mean... that it exists there.
He's laying another thread for the cats.
Skeet's treehouse, made from imported wood from Italy.
What the fuck?
And basically, I know I'm going on a bit of a rant here, and then I'll get back to the characters, but because it's Althea's estate, there's certain things.
It's a character all its own.
Yeah, so...
We saw what was in the basement.
There was... You did not see what was in the
We
basement.
saw something,
You really
but we
didn't
did not see what was in the basement.
Yeah, because that was the next thing I was going to bring up about Amos and Agatha getting... Drinking.
Oh, we got it.
And
Lost.
wandering around the house and found a locked door and decided, when you're in somebody's house,
Drinking their alcohol.
we better unlock this door.
Was it
We
locked?
better
Was
unlock
it locked?
this door.
I don't remember it being locked.
It was locked.
It was locked.
It was the one locked door. That's why you went to it.
Yeah.
I know.
We were trying to find Cadbury's room to play prank on him.
Oh!
You weren't even like opening doors for a good reason.
Yeah, we thought it was his room behind it because it was locked.
Seemed hilarious at the time, but that was probably because I was drunk.
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys went down into the basement and got scared, and one of you got a candle thrown at you and ran
That
up
was
over
me.
the stairs and
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
In its defense, I threw something at it first, whatever it was.
My drink.
You jerk.
Well, you threw a candle down.
Yep. And then a drink at it, and then it threw a candle back at us.
Yeah.
I think.
Whatever the order was.
I don't know.
Regardless.
I was scared.
Yeah, it
I
was
think I
bad.
pissed myself. You know, the appealing, attractive.
As one does.
Yeah, that was the... Yeah. Amos Milton hit by candle thrown from second landing. Agatha throws glasses.
Oh, it was me.
Glass
You that
at
threw it.
shape. Yeah.
Oh. My
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Stairs go down 40 feet, then turns around an alcove. Lights candles. Amos Milton throws candles down the stairs, 30 feet to another alcove. Amos Milton stays at first alcove. Agatha goes to second alcove alone to find the candle because it went out when you threw it.
Oh my God. We're such goobers. How are
Air
we still
stops being
alive?
cold, becomes warm for a second, like a breath had been breathed on you. So you headed back up, and then a candle flew out of the darkness and hit Amos in the head.
I got
And
attacked
then
by the
you
darkness.
threw a glass down there.
You
And
know
then,
what? We should be called Dumb
then-
and Fucking Dumber. Jesus.
and then you
dumb,
fled.
right?
And then you
No.
ran. Run away!
Okay, fine. We're dumber and dumbest.
We did remember, though, to put something in the door so it didn't lock behind us, though.
Yeah,
we
'cause
gotta
it
give
auto-locked.
ourselves that.
We would have died. We'd be dead.
Wait, so you're saying, wait,
There's been
wait.
multiple times.
So-
Oh, sorry, Althea.
No,
go
I
right
was just
ahead.
going to say, so in my house, sorry, no, it was in my house, of a room that we couldn't find that potentially had some weird creature in it. That door is propped open somewhere?
No, we locked it.
We slammed it shut when we
okay.
We
left.
just
It was
had it propped open when we were going down the stairs.
right.
Otherwise,
Okay,
we
okay.
would have
Locked.
died.
Okay, all right.
Instant death. Could you?
There's been a lot of situations where player characters could have died, and through, this is what I usually use luck rolls for. And even on a failed luck roll, it depends on the situation. Like, I think the closest to losing most of you, except Marion, was the machete dynamite
my
trick.
God.
Oh fuck!
Now, to be clear,
That was amazing.
anyone within 3 yards, which would have been everyone but Marion,
Yep.
if
would've
that
been the
went
kill
off, would have taken around 4d10 damage immediately.
Dude,
And whereas most people have an average of 10 or 11 hit points,
Christ!
if
We'd
you
be
lived, you wouldn't have
pieces.
wanted to be alive.
You wouldn't have wanted to be alive.
Well, it's not like you're near a good medical facility. And I
Middle
thought
of muddy
for
nowhere.
the quick second, it ran into my mind of how cool it would have been if you all got turned to jelly, except Marion. She fixed the tire on the car, left town, and then I could start the next episode of Marion coming to Swill's Gullet with the car of new adventurers. Right? What are you? And my point in my mind, very quickly, I was thinking, and I could say something like, Marion enters with new people for the 3rd time. Yeah. So then it's like, this happened before? Oh, that would have been so cool, but no.
But no.
we had the audacity to fucking
That's
survive.
So that's
How
how
dare
my
you live.
mind works.
That's cool.
It's
my
like
God.
trying to find a
You
way.
turn like some kind of harbinger where you just bring people to die.
Oh wow,
Oh my
that would
God.
have completely
that
changed
would
his
have been-
character. That would have been neat.
Especially for like a one shot, that like one arc beginning and end,
That would have
and
been
then it
fun.
ends that way. Hopefully, people like rambling, like we all ramble.
This is a good introduction, though. Back. from
Welcome
here,
back.
I
It's
think.
been a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
This, I think you'll probably post this as an optional episode.
Go be subscribers.
Or subscribers. Yeah.
Good shit.
Yep.
Which I think shout out to those who kept supporting us through the
Holy
whole time.
shit.
Though I have to
Oh,
say
God,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
We got to bring that up in a sec here. So we've got a bunch of people that like just love us and have been like throwing a whole bunch of shit, which makes
love
it
them.
Yes.
So we've been able to like make sure that we can keep the shows going, even though we haven't been making episodes. But this brings up a concern. There's a lot of sanity in a bank to dish out to people.
Yes, but see, I need to jump in here.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, you can't just take the sanity in the way you think. Basically, on your character sheet, there is a maximum amount of sanity that's based on your starting sanity. Now, you can go above that, but I don't want it to be like people have 95 sanity. It's no fun if you're never going to fail the check. So I feel that maybe, I'm assuming there's a lot of sanity built up.
Well, in our defense, a lot of people haven't been saying whom they want to give their sanity points
I'll
to.
do that.
Yeah.
Yes. So Rob gets all the sanity.
Damn,
They are the best.
Yep.
that's fair.
Absorbing it like a sponge.
Okay, no, don't. Okay, we don't want to make it any thicker of an accent than that. Sorry, I didn't mean anything by that.
That's fair.
But I mean, it
That's
starts
fair.
taking on different meanings.
Do I have a note of how
Give me
much
the honor.
sanity?
Either way, it will be used for the benefit of the characters. I feel more in sanity moving forward and sanity loss. So basically, what I am suggesting is, in between scenarios, using the built-up sanity to top up characters from doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because I don't-
it affects
Like if
the
somebody gets
story.
like 30 sanity in one shot, like you'll never fail a sanity check.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fear.
The other thing to consider is that we don't play on a monthly basis. We release episodes on a bi-weekly basis, but we often play we'll play for like a weekend of like 15 hours and then not play for months.
Yeah, and we need to do something about that at some point. But we're all really busy.
Hashtag real life sucks.
Well, we all work full time.
Well, I think
And all
the
different
two biggest
schedules.
schedule problems is mine and Derek's because I'm literally supposed to work when you were all free. Like that's actually what my job is.
Yeah, our schedules are just.
And I have been working a lot.
You have.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, you're fucked.
yeah. Gotta make a living. That's right. Now I got two, hey, I'm adorable. Because lower C court. And
I think you're a
I'm
dumbass. It's
sad.
fine. It's okay, Derek. It makes you feel better. I think you're a dumbass.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Fingers!
Jesus.
Finger guns, by the way, not the middle ones. Just
Oh,
finger
Christ.
clarification.
This is an audio medium.
Okay, so I lost my train of thought.
We were going around all the character sheets. I think Marion was next.
Okay, yeah, and I'll jump in about other stuff to do with the house if I need to. Otherwise, it's
Okay.
Skeet's treehouse,
Yeah.
right? Looks
Oh,
like
God.
a little bit of a smaller version, or at least from the outside, looks like a little bit like the mansion, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was brought up.
Yep.
It was.
That's not good.
And does anyone recall where Skeet got the idea for the design?
He found a. It was he either
found
found
the
plans or he
schematics.
found a book.
Yes, he found a book that he said seemed to be calling out to him
Yeah,
or
and
something
it was
like
full.
that.
And it was full of sketches.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I called it Skeet's Sketchbook, and he found a sketch of to build the treehouse from.
Yep.
That's when I believe it was Amos and I don't know, another character, one of you, went down into the laboire, and he was down there. Yeah. So basically, that's where that came from. But was there anything? Are you happy with going over what you went over?
Yeah, that's pretty much my gear and possessions. Doctor's bag, forensics
Ooh.
bag, silver dollar with warp star symbol, wrench,
What was the last one?
wrench.
Wrench. Okay. No, the main thing that I need to bring up as well, so we don't forget, that you have actually made your forensics bag and your medicine bag into a combo Althea's bag.
Althea's bag.
It's an all-purpose, because it's...
It makes sense.
Right? It makes sense. So now it's just really those discussions of, I can only take one bag. Don't know why. I'll put this one back and I want to take the other one.
She's only good to us if we're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's got two pockets. One is if you're already dead and I'm analyzing why, and the other one is if you're still kind of alive and I need to keep you that way.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to go a darker route. Oh,
Two
it's if you're still
pockets.
alive and I need to move you to the other
you
side
to
of
the
the
other
bag.
No, that's the trunk of the car.
You're all villains.
I like
Except
my-
Marion.
What was it? I like
Hashtag Team Marion.
That's right.
What's that popular thing now? I like my people like I like my tea in a bag underwater.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
I'm just thinking Instagram reels and TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Who the fuck are you?
No. Moving on.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that yellow book is really...
I'm sorry.
So, Marion, was there anything else you really wanted to bring up? I think you're...
I don't think so.
Oh, precious.
A lot of because basically I find that Marion is a lot of the time is the moral center.
Yes, she is.
And I'm not trying to take away from your character at all, because your character's badass.
Thank you.
Like, if you go back and rewatch some of these episodes, Marion is usually doing the right thing or making sure that she needs to run away.
Yeah.
Feel
Except for that one time.
Which one?
The big pincushion man.
Okay.
Not the little pincushion man.
So,
When the big pincushion man was, he was coming around the side of the house,
Okay.
and you stayed quickly to do something. I can't remember what it was, and he shot one of the
Yeah.
tooths
You
I
can't
got
say
spikes
that.
out, and, but it
Yeah.
almost hit you,
Yeah.
right? Because if I would have rolled that,
We would have lost Mary.
damn.
skewered.
well, it was so early on. I
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
like, these things happen, But also, of course, knowing that I was trying to do a longer campaign arc. Cthulhu is generally, or Call of Cthulhu, or whatever way you want to play the game, is generally meant, I feel, really good for one-shots or short campaigns.
Makes sense.
Right?
Fair,
You could really... I have these series of books also that take like horror movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th, and they make scenarios out of it, and they're meant to be played over a night, where it's sort of like,
You're all gonna die, but maybe one.
well, there's a thing in the notes that say, okay, now over the period of the next 3 hours, kill every player except one.
Yep.
Right?
Kind of like that alien
Oh,
game
no.
I like to play.
Yeah, so
You're
really,
all gonna die.
so
Yeah.
it really works in that. So I sort of took my cue, and I know we're all over the place, but maybe people care. But I sort of took my cue from some of these long form campaigns. I really like Beyond the Mountains of Madness.
Yeah, one day we'll play that.
I think that would be a good one to record as well.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that
No,
out there.
that'd be fun.
It's
I'd-
my take
I'm
on
game.
it is a bit different, but it's still a fun one. But I mean, there's a Master Nyarlathotep, or however you want to pronounce it, a Horror on the Orient Express. There are these long form, but they're also really deadly. Cthulhu's usually meant to have backup characters to keep that fear as heightened as possible. But where I want to do this long run campaign, it's not that I made things easier. It's just I really made sure that I gave the players the luck roll. I really made sure, and plus some of the decisions you people have made have really kept you all alive in one way or the other. Right? So moving on from Marion to Amos. Now,
What up?
What up?
Well, in terms of items, I have this has never really been brought up, but I have like a children's bracelet on one of my wrists. It's never really been mentioned, like the colorful, like little white chiclet
Yep.
things with like colorful threads. A lighter and cigarette case, a from my late father. I don't remember putting that in there because it has since been joined with your grandfather, Althea's cigarette case.
The gold
Yeah.
cigarette case that had
That's
the
why I was
bottle
wondering,
of
was like,
black
how,
liquid.
did I have a psychosis and somehow that got changed or added in there? But all right, I guess I'm carrying 2 later cigarette cases.
Actually, basically, I'd like you to change in your character sheet that your late father's cigarette case is, probably left in your room. You also need to write down 2 things that are sort of treasured to a point.
Okay.
One is the gold, Aloysius's gold cigarette case, and Aloysius's coat. The beige
right.
trench was it a trench
It's
coat?
a leather trench.
Yeah. It was a beige. I'm not saying
the coat I have in my closet?
Yeah.
That's not beige. That's brown.
Yeah, I have a brown leather trench.
Oh my God,
You have a
colors!
couple.
Colors.
Anyway,
Out of space.
large leather. Oh my god.
Sorry. Not sorry.
No, you're not.
Not sorry. Yeah, now I'm not saying that, not like the Yellow Book when it comes to Althea, where she will, she needs to have it on her at all times and blah, 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 blah. But for some reason, those 2 items, and you're not really sure why because you haven't had them very long, purposely keeping that vague, but you haven't had them very long.
Mm-hmm.
But you like them and they are nice and you care about them.
Yep.
Right?
That's fair.
I'm
That
not
checks out.
saying you're going to sacrifice yourself to keep them safe.
Oh, I
Unlike
don't-
Althea in the book.
You don't know. I might. Not.
How
can-
badly do you need that cigarette?
I think I'm the only one who can answer that question.
That's a pretty deep question. And then also on the sheet, unless there's
No, go
yeah.
ahead.
So the other 2 interesting things is the news stand that was right outside my
Bob's.
apartment. Bob's newsstand.
Oh.
I'm sure the stand is still there, and
I
Bob
never
is still
said
there,
it was destroyed.
but the apartment's totaled. So there goes the red room in the apartment where I develop photos, and then also Regal the Raven, whom we mentioned earlier.
Regal the Raven. The Raven that had the little tufts that were like a crown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
missed
yeah.
that fucker.
Yeah, he was cool. He was cool.
that
He was your
bird
spirit
back.
animal.
I love him.
Slide.
So it's been like 4 days since that happened, but I gotta go get that bird back.
It hasn't been very long. No,
Yeah,
it
maybe
hasn't been very
2
long.
days.
But that's okay. So that means, it's still quite possible that he will find you.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be cool.
Hopefully he will find you in a good way, not he will find you.
I accept it.
Okay.
I got blown out of a 3rd-story window.
If you
Come
get torn
on.
apart by ravens, at this point you'll just shrug and go, all right, then.
I'll look at Simon and be like, all right, you're in this shit with me, bud.
Yeah, it was Bob's newsstand.
Yep.
And the newsstand was in like a yellow. It was painted yellow.
Yep. Then just on the corner of the,
Like
the street
you know what I
downstairs.
mean, where they do like not plaid, but it's
Yeah.
He was around 60 years old. He was bald with tufts of hair on the side,
Yeah.
and he seemed like a nice
were
guy.
Bob's tufts of hair similar to Regal's tufts of feathers?
They are the same person.
they are
I'm
now.
not saying it's the same.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah. I couldn't do anything to Bob.
Yeah. I don't know if anything else that's of interest. It's
Yeah, but I mean, most of the stuff that's of interest, it's nice to have a few things, but most of the stuff that if
Oh,
I
my best buddy detective, whose body was eviscerated in my apartment.
tilts.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm actually pissed off about that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Fuck you.
At least he's not bitter about it.
No. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on to Agatha.
Now, I don't have it written under treasured possessions, but I'm
That's
going
fine.
to assume that the Lee Enfield is going to be definitely
Wait. The Lee Enfield, what's that? I believe it's Kathleen.
Kathleen.
Don't you be Kathleen.
I also have a book that has chosen me.
Ah, yes, the book.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
I do have other treasured possessions too, but those are the 2 that in game we definitely
Her real
talked
name
about.
is Kathleen.
Oh, God.
It was in case number 0307,
It's when we
The
went
Yellow
into-
Door.
Yeah.
It was a ridged, leather-bound book. And when you touched it, you had a vision in your mind of the lake.
Yep.
Which lake, you may ask?
Shrugs.
Who knows?
Oh.
Oh,
it was
Lake.
Lake Drumwick. Come on, it's just the only lake.
There's no other lake.
I didn't
No,
even know it was
didn't-
Lake Drumwick. I just
Didn't
called it
a
Lake
thorn
Clacking.
or something come out?
Yeah, like a spike came out
Yeah.
and pierced your hand, and you felt like, now this is my book.
This is my.
Something like that.
Oh, that's fucked up.
That's right.
Oh.
It shows
that, like,
like
ancient-
See?
Don't say it like that's normal.
I'm
Now-
not the most fucked up
And
person
you
in this
haven't
group. She is.
read it or looked at it yet, as far as I recall. I don't think.
No,
I
I just have it though because I was drawn to take it with me because I believe Althea
It's only like 2 days
also-
ago in game. It's
Yeah.
only happened like 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Jesus.
So anyway, the other sort of as far as treasured possessions I have is I have a handmade beaded necklace from a patient whom I successfully cured. And another one is a gift from a Reverend Jonah Farewell, who it was a Bible, and written inside is from John chapter 1, verse 5, which is, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it." And the reason that is important is he was the reverend that worked at Danvers, which is where I was, which is where I treated Gaul.
Albert
So
Fuck ass.
that's kind of why that is, because he helped me through that emotional thing, because
Yeah.
Gaul attacked me.
Gaul's an interesting character.
should try it.
Oh, we're gonna fuck him up.
I also, in the first
Okay.
arc, one of my phobias was made clear, because that was when we were under the water.
Yeah, trapped.
So it's the fear of being trapped, which is cleithrophobia, is essentially. So I do have that as one of my character things.
Did you have a treasured possession that was also a pocket watch, or did you have that written? Do not forget, you gave Skeet your pocket watch
Yes,
for
because
the
I have
empty
a-
trumpet case.
That's right. That's
There was
right.
an empty trumpet case.
Yep, I wonder what that's for.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
Hopefully we'll
Out
never
of the
find out.
plethora of trumpets I brought into the campaign.
Yep, the plethora. There's so many of them.
Yeah, so let's not forget that you had and it had like a combo on it. I don't remember if you guys got it open.
No, I don't
you did.
think we have it.
But
open,
it was empty. Anyway, like you could tell there wasn't a trumpet in it.
Rather obvious.
There's a Tommy gun. Right.
That's right.
Time era for it.
Okay. I'm trying to think about some things to do with Agatha. Of course, like I mentioned before, by far has had the most mental breaks. But
Just always have to look.
well, it's not even that. Some things weren't really her fault because also which came about from when you brought back the burned body of fake Skeet.
Yeah.
Which I was lugging it.
And it had a slug in it, and the slug got out and attacked the staff. Staff is the word.
Yep.
I do have one thing.
Oh.
I had something invaded my body in one of the episodes, and it was evacuated with Amos's help by
That's what I was
pulling
gonna
out
bring
my eye.
It was ejected with extreme
Yeah, you
prejudice.
know what?
Now, here's the thing, which maybe the way I described it might have been, I might have been glossed over. Or I might have said it the wrong way. That you didn't actually have an eye anymore.
no, it had
it-
consumed it. It replaced it.
It replaced it with the facsimile
That's right.
of an eye.
Yeah, I remember this.
So when you pulled it out, and it was like a little black beating heart. It was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
pulsating.
That's right.
And you threw it in the fire.
Extreme prejudice.
Of the creature that it also, its nerves had came out attached to Althea. So Althea actually got to feel what it would feel like to be on fire. And she had to
then
make a
died.
check. And she made this check. Because otherwise, she would have actually burst into flames.
God.
As well. And then she got to feel what it was like to be killed. Which put her into a coma.
That checks out.
Cadbury was very upset.
In a state. And it's always...
Amos.
Well, always. Because he keeps telling Amos, every time Althea leaves, she comes back blind, unconscious, experienced death.
Boy, I hate your mother.
That was
See,
a
he
help.
knows what I'm like, and he knows
Yeah.
you're going to fail. Each
But-
time.
Don't pin that shit on me. She's an adult.
On a plus note, by doing that, number one, you look badass in an eye patch. Because you were given a leather eye patch from, I believe, Althea's cousin who was killed by a hippopotamus. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Wait,
Been
what?
run over or something by a hippo. They're very aggressive creatures.
are.
They
They
are
kill-
like the
I'm
most
not
aggressive
questioning
creature
the
on
nature
earth.
Of hippopotamuses.
They kill more people than lions.
They kill more people
I'm not
than
questioning
anything.
Except for mosquitoes.
Here it is.
characteristics of
Here it is.
Cousin Harold eye patch from Hippo Incident is what I have written.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hang on a
Althea.
second.
No, wait. Althea Goodyear gets leather eye patch, which was owned by cousin Harold, who was a big game hunter in Africa, who deserved to get killed in a hippo attack. That's what
I
I
have
love.
to
it.
ask.
how
I have to
Althea
ask.
described it.
I used to host improv. That seems like a thing you'd
Oh,
pull
yeah.
out of your ass for an improv scene. Was that planned?
No,
Oh, she just came
I
up with it.
improvised
Oh, you
it
pulled
on the
that-
spot. Yeah.
Well, because I
Right on. It's
asked.
so good.
Because usually I'm going to come up with something, and there's display cases of different things that people in their family have owned, and one of them was a leather eye patch.
Yep.
And I was going to say where it was from, which had a darker undertone.
and I interjected.
And you interjected. But as a keeper, and when you're running a game,
Yep. That is gospel.
it's funnier to do it that way. Right? Now, the other thing to remember
Fuck.
is where Amos and Althea, and I believe the discussion was also made is because you both at one point had carried a Sankara stone, the same
Yes.
Sankara stone, that you both could see and hear Montgomery.
Yeah.
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
But also, Agatha now, the one thing was weird, it was like the eye hole, there has to be another term for that, but like the eye hole was cauterized, like it,
Like I have
It
no
didn't-
lids.
it didn't-
literally
It's
didn't
just
look
a
like
hole.
someone
Yeah.
scooped out the.
It wasn't
it's already
bleeding
But when-
or
healed.
anything. Yeah.
But when Montgomery was giving, information explaining where he is not a rat,
No.
it was just like there was just rats there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like, there's a lot of little stuff. If you want to listen, I'm not going to go through everything because it's in
He
the
took on a
episode.
form that we could understand.
But your
Yeah.
eye started itching. So you took off the patching because it's filled with, like, gauze. And you took it out. And through that eye, you could see Montgomery, but you couldn't hear him.
Oh, okay.
That's
right.
what it was. You couldn't hear him.
Correct.
But you saw a rat. And this is where Marion thought, you're all having a shared psychosis.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. In which Montgomery, the shared psychosis rat, said, yeah, she's the only sane one.
You clearly haven't gotten enough sleep recently.
Clearly.
So what the hell have you been getting?
Well, obviously I can handle not having as much sleep as you.
The other thing to, and anyone can jump in. The only other, one of the other things to remember is at the same time in Heinrich's house, where you got the Ridge Leather book, there was also a small poetry book that you grabbed, and when you held on to it, you felt like potentially it could be used with the book, The King in Yellow,
Oh
play.
God!
yeah.
in a good way.
Do you have DLC for the King in Yellow?
Good or-
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have the
yeah.
1923 version of DLC.
The only
Yeah.
other thing to remember as well is Mr. Black's
Yeah.
coin. Mr. Black, the guy who started heading up the New England Center of Antiquities when Simon and Alistair were taken out of commission. They're not dead, you know what I mean. Or Alistair might be. So,
We don't know.
you were given a coin, but then when you went down to the theater beneath your estate, you started going on the stage, you could feel it, the symbol, like a la Indiana Jones and the symbol on the crates on the ocean burning away. So you left. So it's not as effective as it once was.
I know, yeah.
But still.
Get rid of that coin.
And there's a pile of other stuff which I can get into at some point. For example, at the Church of Contemplation, there was books there that were wrecked the second time you went back, and you picked a book at random or whatever, Althea, and you opened it up, and it was from the Library of Aloysius Goodyear. That was one of those, right? Gall's journal, which was found in the in the bell tower of the Church of Contemplation, which had a sketch of, the house,
Yeah.
the haunted house.
Which is how we found that house.
Yeah. People were under the assumption that that book had been given to Mr. Black. It had not.
Oh.
The last time actually in the recordings where that book was,
That's Gall's journal?
yeah,
Okay.
it was in the lab bar.
Okay.
That's the last time it was brought
Because
up.
we called him, but he hasn't picked it up yet. I thought somebody went and called him.
The only thing, the last thing about Black is that we have him
Even if he was called,
looking
he
up
wasn't
that
going to it.
Egyptian box, somewhat Egyptian
when
box.
Mr. Black was contacted, and he is
Yeah.
going to show up with there was a large chest from Heinrich's house,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
had
yeah.
similar hieroglyphics, and I believe
Oh,
at that
that's what
time,
we called him about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That
we
checks
were
out.
going to see about having him help clean up after the staff were attacked by the.
which he did.
He did, yeah.
He did do that.
He did
Yeah.
do that.
But then you contacted him again to bring back the.
Probably mention that book.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to go through things a little bit quicker now. Yeah, beige trench coat, Aloysius metal gold cigarette case, Regal the Raven. You also have a pile of papers from the Studebaker. You grabbed a handful of papers from the glove compartment.
Oh, yes, and photos.
There's a pile of photos, but I'd need to go through each chapter and tell you, so we
I
can match
have
up
a
the
list
list.
here.
Because, but I have the list of ones that are actually said in the episodes. So we can just make sure they're all here. The other thing to remember, Marion, is you have a touchy back. Because in the bell tower, you were climbing up the ladder, and Agatha jumped on it, and you fell, and you took 4 damage, and you actually did hurt your back.
I did.
I'm not saying that's going to come up at an inopportune moment, but it might.
It might.
You're about as subtle as a bull in a china shop.
I don't need to bring up everything, because some things should be a surprise, because I can be like, yeah, and then this happened in episode this, yeah!
Wow. Or you just listen to all the episodes.
In the previously on, and it's like you're on season 4, and they reference something from season 1. You're like, oh, shit's going down.
Oh, exactly.
Oh, no!
Marion, also, big piece of information, has a small flashlight.
I do.
Nobody else does. Screw all you.
No, we got the big one.
Agatha, when you picked the rose, and I mean
Yes.
in the yard of the church, when you picked it, and you felt that there will be nothing beautiful in this world for you
Ever
again.
after.
And when everyone went back again, the rest of you saw a rose, and you only saw corrupted ground. That happened as well. But the thing is, and I don't think it's been brought up since you kept the stem and
did.
the thorn.
Yes, that's
And
right.
it was in your pocket. And in the next episode that we listened to, you were actually, I believe, to help deal with anxiety, or you were under a lot of stress, you rubbed the stem of the rose and that went away. And you were fine.
Oh.
And that sort of wasn't brought up. Again, well, that we mightn't have played for 5 months after that. I think that was right
Yeah.
before lockdown, the
That's
first
right.
That was
lockdown.
one of the first lockdowns.
But that's why I want to do
We've
this
been
to
through
remind
like
better.
6.
Let's not forget that you have a blue-brown checkered suit from Althea Goodyear's closet, which
I do.
looks awesome. And whatever damage was caused to it by the shit you get into was fixed by the staff.
Lily.
Lily is one of the staff. The staff so far that have been named
Oh.
is Bob, Tony, and Jebediah, so 3 men. Then Barb, Delilah, and Lily, 3 women. And then Frank, Jonah, and James, 3 men. So 3 women coming up next.
Nice.
Huh.
Or whoever.
Interesting.
Or
It's a weird pattern I never noticed.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with this.
Yes.
I mean, we should start using those names so that she just doesn't have an endless supply of staff.
No, an endless supply of stuff.
There is I believe in one of the earlier episodes, I
Well,
believe there is
All new
42.
staff.
There's 42 names we have to come up with, lads.
Well, how
And
many
some of them
are there
are-
still 42? Because
No, because I'm not telling you.
no, but
I thought Delilah bit the dust, didn't she?
well, there was a lot of staff.
I
that
don't
bit the
remember.
dust.
I would have. I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if I tried to keep it nameless.
Yeah, I think the staff that got eaten by the slug were not staff with names.
Prohibition. Yeah, that's cool.
That's
They don't
right.
have names
water,
anymore anyway.
Yeah,
PCs pass out for 2 days.
It's the longest spout of time we've ever spent doing one thing since we've met.
That's right.
And it was not with each other.
Nope.
We just, all right, everybody sleep.
Yeah, I
investigator.
actually had it wrote down, but there is a specific number of staff. Okay, we're getting there. Hopefully everyone's we're getting there. And there's various different samples of things that were taken. Samples of the black greenish goo that were on the wall in the haunted house. There's samples of the rain that caused people to go crazy. Althea was mostly the one who took samples, while Marion was mostly the one who made notes. in that Agatha was the most likely to shoot people in broad daylight, and
Yeah, that is correct.
Amos is the most likely to fall out of windows.
Yeah.
Blown.
Damn it.
Blown out of
Stay
windows.
away from rooftops. Yeah. Let's not forget, if we're talking about some injuries, Althea, only a few nights previously, you had lost a chunk off your arm.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross.
Oh, that had gotten looked at the hospital.
Yeah, but I mean, a few days ago,
It's still bandaged.
it's bandaged, but I mean, you do have, it should be fine. Amos, you've suffered so many injuries that if whatever is keeping you together goes away, you're just going to fall apart like a character in Resident Evil.
Totally. I totally forgot.
That
about
checks out.
Right?
Oh, every bone in my body is
Oh,
pudding.
and
now-
Althea knows
It's sand.
that.
And Agatha, of course, you are missing your eye. So there was a penalty die on all firearm shots till I tell you any different, because of depth perception.
What was the penalty die?
Oh, a penalty die is basically,
Oh, no, wait, is it a D? What is
well,
it?
when you roll a percentage,
Yeah.
you roll the D10, but it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And that is what I call the percentile die. And then you have the D10, which is 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So when you're rolling a penalty die, what you're doing is you're adding another tens die. So a 10, 20, 30. So you know what I mean? So if I roll this together, I get a 33, or a 23. It's actually a really good roll. And a penalty die means I take the worst result, which is a 33. Right?
Yeah.
And it's the reverse if it is a bonus die.
Right.
You take the better of the
Bonus
two,
die.
which would be, instead of a 47, I would take a 27.
Yeah.
It's actually really good. Wasted, I tells you.
Well, we'll take it.
Something else, sorry, I know this is a lot of information and I'm sort of pushing.
Oh, no, it's
Um, and Father O'Malley
Yes.
has been having some issues,
Yep.
specifically about the haunted house.
He's not sure what is real.
Well, and you sort of have to question it a bit too, because when you were in the haunted house, when you left, Marion looked back like the house was collapsing in on itself. You all escaped, and that's where the Tommy gun was left. To get through the window, the Tommy gun was left. There's
very upset about
there's
that.
Tommy
We need to get
guns
another
on
Tommy
the
gun.
estate.
Found more Tommy.
There's Tommy gun. You have 3 grenades in the trunk. It's like
That
the
checks out.
Winchester trunk. It's got like everything.
Oh, let's go get into the Tommy gun, boys.
Nah,
Ladies,
people,
folks,
Everyone.
let's go, folks.
let's go. But Father O'Malley, when you escaped and you were leaving in the house, when Marion was just about to hop into a car, she looked back and noticed that the house was completely fine. So she ran up to check to make sure that it was still deadbolt. There was 4 deadbolts, I believe, on the outside of the door.
Yeah.
So locking in, not, you know what I mean? And you heard the sound of a shotgun blast. And then you ran to the car, and you also saw the curtain open up and saw Agatha in the second story of the house looking out the window, like she had did previously while you were in the house. So it's something timey-wimey to do with the place,
I love it.
because of where Father O'Malley was in sort of a loop of blowing his brains out.
For 11 years.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah, 11 or 12 years.
I
Yeah,
know.
20. It was 1911.
now there's
is
a
when he went
version
there.
of us in that loop as well. Or
Yep.
in a loop.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
that means there's enough room in this world for 2 of all of us.
That means that
Is
for
that a good thing?
No.
No.
an unprecedented amount of time, you
Time
will walk
cop
into
rules.
that dining room and eat rotten meat off a table.
Yum.
Yeah, and your jaw elongate.
You just had to make that worse. You just had to turn that into something terrible, didn't you?
There is no God. So, I just love that line. Yeah, so there is that. So the thing to do with Father O'Malley is he is having memories as if he wasn't trapped in the house as well, because he knew stuff about Heinrich that would have happened during the Great War. And he even brought up, how do I know this? I would have been in the house then. So his memories are all fuzzy. Not fuzzy, he has memories he shouldn't have. And he's wondering, rightfully so, whether he is still in the house.
Yeah.
Or not. Or if that's where he's supposed to be. Or
Is our Father O'Malley the actual Father
and somebody
O'Malley?
actually said, one of the NPCs actually, I believe it was Father O'Malley or Simon, could have been Simon. I love Simon. It's probably something quantum. Right?
What, did you just put the word quantum in your sentence to make you sound smart? Yes. All right.
Yeah, that's Simon. Or it might have been Father O'Malley who said it, but, whatever.
But the dog has been hanging out with Father O'Malley.
Yes, the Irish Wolfhound.
So
That
many
does
theories
not
I
sound
got so many
that
theories about
dog.
that goddamn dog.
And he is with, usually spends time with Father O'Malley. He also took a liking to Skeet.
Interesting.
Oh, I don't remember this.
Father O'Malley.
Or did he not and he was scared of Skeet? Who knows? Watch the episode.
All I know is that it also
Listen.
liked Marion.
Yes, that's what I remember.
Listen to the episode. Sandy check from Althea.
Where's that
2
stupid
penalty
dice
dice. Get away
bag?
from my dice. Vile temptress.
Vile temptress?
Oh, I love it when you compliment me.
You two are
See?
so interesting.
Listen.
Cute.
I believe that. One of the many times you lost your mind.
Yeah.
Jesus.
One was when you thought Marion was dead in the sort of the Quonset sewer place, the secret entrance beneath the cellar door of the New England Center of Antiquities, where she was sort of shot in the face with the
Yeah.
tranquilizer
Yeah.
dart thing, and you fell down and you thought she was dead, and you had a mental break, and you got a thing called protection of your friends are paramount. Now, you can do with that what you will, because the moment Mr. Black came in, and as soon as he looked at her, he was like, nah, she's alive. You got the Sandy back you lost. Because
Temporary
how that works.
insanity,
Yeah.
But, that is something to remember. Very quickly, something else I want to bring up too. Agatha. Mm-hmm. Eventually, there may be a price to pay for dragging Kathleen everywhere you go.
I know.
There has been at least, I know for sure, one occasion, maybe two, where citizens have spotted you with the rifle
Yes.
in the streets around massacres. Just to
Don't
clarify.
smile like this is funny. This isn't cute.
And the police officer.
You need to learn how to put a rifle under your arm.
Let's
a
be
little pistol under your
clear.
arm.
Let's not forget. I know I'm dragging this out, but let's not forget that after you got back from Swill's Gullet, you found out that the military had moved in and taken control of Swill's Gullet and quarantined the area, and that they were looking for, you guessed it, Skeet Wilsonbottom was going to be brought in for questioning. So when
he did not want to go.
you
How would they know he was alive?
backed up the Birmingham truck into Officer Ricky, because you didn't know who it was, and you hit him and broke bones
Yes,
and stuff
I
like that.
did.
And Althea went out to check him. Althea threw him in the Packard and drove him to the hospital. When she was questioned by Officer Vincent Caputo, who is also the one who questioned Agatha and Marion outside of the library, where Heinrich, for fuck's sakes, boo! Not planned, but I'm not changing it because it was cool.
What a good ending to
Yeah,
that.
he died how he lived, stupidly.
With a goddamn bang.
Actually, I liked Heinrich a lot, but
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
it happens. It happens. Sometimes the dice
How
goes
she
that
blows. Don't
But
you all groan.
let's not
You thought it
forget
was
that
great.
Althea, and Althea's the only one who knows this though, told Vincent Caputo that the person driving who hit Officer Ricky was none other than a Skeet Wilsonbottom.
But you never told us that yet, have you?
No. But she told the police that, and also Detective Bill told you that the police are also looking for a Skeet Wilsonbottom for the military.
Yep.
So
Yeah, 'cause
that may come up.
Because
I know I'm giving out
I
a
don't
lot. I should have
think-
kept that and brought it up in
Yeah.
game.
No, we were aware
I
of
don't
that.
think that I knew. Did I know? I didn't know that because Bill told you, right?
You all knew the military was looking for Skeet because you all
Yeah.
agreed to hide him.
But
That's right.
I said it as Skeet, and he's
Because-
my employee, therefore I'm responsible.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that the military is looking for the man for
Yes.
questioning. And,
Yes.
and you just
Well,
spilled
you were
beans,
all
but we as characters don't know that. But as players,
No.
we were all like, fuck it, Agatha! or Althea, fuck!
Well, and also, you guys,
I know!
you people of all, you PCs have also all, pretty much all of you were supposed to go in for questioning yesterday.
What?
Yeah,
Well,
at different
yes,
points.
yes.
Because of the explosion at the library.
Yeah.
We were like,
And then you, for the explosion at your apartment building, went up to a police officer and you said you'd go in the next day.
yeah.
And two of you said you were going to go in the next day.
Oh, it's been like 2 days.
Yeah.
Fuck!
I'm the only one who's
That's
spoken
not
to
overly
him.
important. Now, what's more important
Yes.
is the moment is you're checking at Silver Twilight Lodge as you were heading there with no plan. No plan. Didn't
That
know what
checks
you were going
out.
to do when you get
That
there.
checks
Didn't know anything about the Silver Twilight Lodge. The plan was to
the
investigate
plan
it.
is to
No,
scope it out.
that was
plan
not the
from
plan.
there.
You-
That
there
is the
was
plan.
there was no plan.
because it
That
was in
plan
the
was
car that
decided
we
from
said.
20 minutes of laughter.
That's right.
Yep.
Like,
right.
what are we going to do when we get there? And eventually, somebody actually did say we could stake out the place, and I
That's
believe
me.
Amos said
That was,
that's a good idea.
Great
So
idea.
it wasn't beforehand.
It's not a bad idea. I'm not wrong with this. It's a great idea.
So Simon, what do you know? I mean, do you know anything about the Silver Twilight Lodge? You know how it just came out? No, no.
What a tit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe last episode was actually just ended as it was.
Marion saw that the
And you.
door open. Yeah, but I was holding.
You were holding her
like
foot
this.
up, and Marion was up, and
Yeah.
she looked through the door. There was the two gentlemen with the
Smoking.
with the black suspenders and the navy blue pants, and they each had the same button-up shirt and the same dress shoes.
That's right.
And when they went back inside, you could see a row of robes.
That's right. It was almost like a coat room that was in there.
Yeah.
It was navy robes.
Cult room.
Oh,
You're all welcome.
get out of your own house.
Sanity check?
I believe we can almost, cut that there. There's actually there's a lot of stuff that's happened. Like, I mean, I could go over information about Michael Thomas, about Carl Sanford, about
could.
Walter Corbett, all this stuff, but that is stuff that can come up more in game,
Yeah.
the information you have. And plus, sometimes it's good when the players misremember information.
Yeah.
You're looking at your notes, and you might make something up. And that's human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That's all it is. Because I was looking through a lot of the dates that I have certain things happening, and I started thinking, oh, that really matches up well.
Nice.
Even there was
Nice.
one time I asked one of you for a date when something would have happened, and the date you gave, I was like, perfect!
That's the date it shall be.
Lower Seacourt.
Oh
Noises.
my God.
Lower Seacourt noises.
Oh my god, that doesn't even make
Got
sense.
your chocolates, ham.
I don't know what that
Now I
is.
really want.
Salty chocolates.
Now I really
Yum.
want chocolate.
Yum.
So anyway, I think that
we,
I think that's
Yeah.
enough
Yeah,
information.
I think so.
Time to die.
Yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. I could actually spend my time going, not now, but going over more rules and stuff. But I mean, we might do
During
that.
the game is
We might do that, or a couple of us might sit down and do maybe a live stream where we just go over some of the things I've changed about how I run the game and stuff like that.
Like
but we
a
could talk
Q&A
about that.
or something.
I've had
Yeah.
some people ask about how things work in the game because I sort of just gloss over and I just have it happen.
Right.
Right.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. The next episode of The Call will air Tuesday, January 25th, with Spacers, our sci-fi podcast, airing Tuesday, January 18th. Please leave us a review on your podcast app of choice and visit our main website for merch and more. Music and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films and Artlist. Your players for the night were Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, and Zach Barrett. Your GM or keeper tonight was Derek Snow. Your audio operator was Rob Hickey. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.